Algeria is to hold a presidential election on December 12, 5 months into a political vacuum since longtime leader Abdelaziz Bouteflika resigned in the face of mass protest. Abdelkader Bensalah, the interim successor to Bouteflika, gave the date in a TV address on Sunday. The announcement comes after Army Chief General Ahmed Gaid Salah, who is seen as Algeria's strongman since the fall of the ailing Bouteflika, insisted that polls be held by the end of 2019, despite ongoing protests demanding the creation of new institutions ahead of any elections in the country. The last of such protests were held on Friday last week. Ruth.
That's right. To talk about this, we have our correspondent, Tariq Hafid, who joins us now. Tariq, hello. Thank you for joining us in the program.
Bonjour.
Tariq, acting head of state Abdelkader Bensalah announced that December the 12th as the new date for elections. Can we say that he gave in to the pressure of the chief of staff who announced such a date 2 weeks ago?
Alors, le chef de l'État par intérim n'a pas cédé au chef de l'État.
The interim head of state did not give in to the army general. He simply applied what can be considered an instruction. On September the 2nd, General Ahmed Gaid Salah delivered a speech in which he suggested that, and I quote, the electoral body be convened on September the 15th to hold the presidential election. According to the Constitution, the election must be held 90 days after the convocation of the electorate, on Thursday, December the 12th. And it's therefore not surprising that Abdelkader Bensalah signed the decree on Sunday, the 15th of December, as suggested by his Deputy Minister of Defense. For the record, during the official speech delivered on Sunday evening, Bensalah declared that the election would be held on the 12th of December 2016. The confusion between 6 and 9 shows the state of great fatigue in which the interim head of state is in.
Independent Electoral Commission, Tariq, does the Independent Electoral Commission really have the time to organize this election? It's just been created, and we have just about 2 months and some weeks, to the elections in December 12. Do they have the time to organize this?
Alors, le pouvoir est prêt à accorder tous les moyens humains et matériels à cette autorité.
The government is ready to grant all human and material resources to this authority so that it is ready. This body is supposed to enjoy financial independence and should act in place of the administration and justice, two institutions that were responsible for organizing elections in the past. The problem does not lie in the logistical aspects, but rather in the thorny issue of the public accepting this authority and its ability to oppose any attempt in fraud in favor of one or more candidates. The issue of credibility will be at the center of the work of the Independent Electoral Authority. But looking at its components, the conditions of its installation and the way in which its president was appointed, everything suggests that things proceeded lightly and hastily.
Tariq, aujourd'hui, dites-nous quelles sont les réactions.
Tariq, what is the reactions in the country? Multiple reactions, but are divided into two main trends. First of all, there are those who are against it, that is, many Algerian citizens who are part of the citizens' movement and who refuse to hold a presidential election under the current conditions. The refusal of this imposed electoral process has been rejected every week by hundreds of thousands of demonstrators who march on Fridays and Tuesdays. In the refusal camp, there are also some political parties, notably the formations of the Democratic Pole or the Islamist El Adala party. Among those who support the holding of this election are the formations and organizations affiliated to the Abdelaziz Bouteflika regime, including the FLN, the RND, and the UGTA, the main trade union. There is also Ali Benflis, former head of government and one of the main opponents of the former president. In an article published last Thursday, he said that the conditions for holding fair presidential polls are now in place. Benflis will meet on the 26th of September with his party's Central Committee, which will decide on the question of his participation in the 12th December election. It should be noted that conditions deteriorated rather suddenly with the arrest of the opponent, Karim Tabou, accused of damaging the morale of the army and of several demonstrators in Algiers and Constantine.
Eh bien, Tariq Hafid,
Hafid, thank you very much for accepting to speak to us. Of course, we are monitoring the situation in the country. Thank you very much for giving us these updates.
Merci, bonne journée.
Thank you. Good day to you too. Tariq Hafid, our correspondent in Algiers.
And if you are just joining us, this is the morning call coming to you here on African News. We are live for you from our studios in Point Noir, the Republic of Congo. For those of you watching online, you can go on www.africanews.com and you can watch us in either of English or French. Again, www.africanews.com. Now, still to come on the program. It's a special invention and it is helping the people of Kitengela solve water problems in their community. So what is this invention about? We get to find out about this in Kenya. Plus, in sports, a different kind of marathon, and this time it was for the preservation of the forest in Cape Town, South Africa. Details on these plus much more after the break. Ruth and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere.